Good day, everyone. Welcome to Calloused Christianity, where we discuss apologetic, theological, and philosophical ideas that are focused on improving and sharpening the character. Now, I want to start with a simple idea. I find it hard not to delve into super interesting ideas, but before I do that, every idea that I use has certain things to understand to paint a real and thorough revelation. If you want to think critically, you have to abide by the rules of logic. Otherwise, you are just thinking a bunch of nonsense because there are no distinct factors that determine the quality of what you are thinking. The single thing that every person genuinely needs is an understanding or searching character for truth. If the importance of truth is neglected, you are never going to think critically because there's no logic behind your thinking. What is logic though? Glad you asked. Reasoning conducted or assessed according to strict principles of validity. However, which principles define whether something is valid or not? The basic logic is embedded in what is called the law of non-contradiction. It states that something cannot be both true and not true at the same time when dealing with the same context. For example, I cannot sleep and not sleep at the same time. Or if the sun is shining, then it can't be night wherever the light is touching. It is two contradicting forces. Only one can be true. Now, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but this is how you know when someone is an idiot. It is when they think their view or perception of something defines truth. This is known as relativism. Although many people think this is something smart, it's only ostensible. When something is ostensible, it means that it appears as true when it's not necessarily so. It is a term that sounds smart, but when you look at it, it cannot make sense. The world is entertaining this idea, and we should not listen to something like that, because it is an escape for people to avoid what is true in terms of life and general improvement, and it also hinders them from finding the absolute truth. Also, when someone says that something is true for their own personal way, what they're also saying is that everyone else's way is wrong. So, as you can see, people's ways are overlapping. By saying everything is true for one person, that means everything is false at the same time, which erupts all chaos. Hopefully that makes sense. If you do not grasp it, just replay the video until you take it in. This is why you must always hear everything out thoroughly, no matter how absurd it sounds at first, because every individual is limited by their own way of thinking. We are ignorant and must always know that. If someone is a relativist, just tell them.
Because you can't handle the truth!
It takes humility and submission to change yourself according to what is true, and it can be super painful. We cannot overpower truth in any way. Most people here were in a mathematics class at least once in their life. Every student that succeeds must know that truth exists. Otherwise, your teacher is just going to think something is wrong with you if you keep arguing with her about how right your wrong answer is. In the end, the answer to an equation can only be one out of infinite possibilities. Why? Because that is the law of logic. Many children can say, well, that's just her opinion. However, what that rebellious attitude is doing is it is robbing them of the opportunity of ever being correct, and that is a recipe for all unhappiness. If you want to make someone dumb, or if you want to appear dumb, just believe in two contradicting ideas, or tell them two contradicting ideas. Because for someone to believe both, he or she will never find an outcome. Let me use the famous example of Schrödinger's cat. An Austrian physicist, Erwin Schrödinger, did a thought experiment where he placed a cat in a box. Notice it's a thought experiment that never occurred in real life. In the box, there is a mechanism that will have a 50% chance of killing the cat. The physicist claims that before he opens the box, this cat is both dead and alive, which is utter nonsense. The reason why is because this man thinks that his opinion or perception matters. Whether this box is opened or not, the cat is dead if the mechanism inside the box went off. If it didn't go off, then it is alive, but not both. We must just observe to know the truth. This is why most people will never think critically. Let's say they want this cat to be alive and dead at the same time. They think that it is an option if they never open the box. The sneaky thing they do not realize, however, is that now they will never see whether this cat is actually dead or alive. They deprive themselves of any results. So in your ignorance, where both are true, somehow in your imagination, none will occur. This is the ultimate invitation of becoming a moron. By accepting two contradicting forces, you decide to instead ignore the next and final step, which is to open the box that will reveal the truth. It is prideful to think that your opinion determines what is truth when you are actually just a mere observer of truth. Now no one will know what happened to the cat. Any sensible person will open the box before making their decision. That is how you find the truth. So the key to logic is first open the box and use the evidence provided to you. Let the decisions reveal themselves. This means humble the perception of your mind before the knowledge that you cannot control. Decide to believe in the most credible conclusion instead of saying both are true. If you do not pick an option with anything in life, you will never find the truth. Rather choose an option, and even if it is the wrong one, you will soon find out. Then notice you just made a mistake and have the humility to correct it. You cannot know what is right before understanding why something else is maybe flawed first. Critical thinking is a constant journey, whether it comes down to something like a math equation or what is morally right and wrong, or whether Jesus rose from the dead or not. Logic will let the truth appear if you allow it, and it will separate what is false from what is true. Now that we know a way on how to find the truth, we should answer Pontius Pilate's question, which is, what is truth? In John 18 verse 38. Pilate said unto him, what is truth? And when he had said this, he went out again unto the Jews, and saith unto them, I find in him no fault at all. So what qualifies Jesus to be God? And is it true? By the use of logic and evidence that we have today, we must let that be a deciding factor, not our emotions necessarily. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, subscribe and like this video, click the bell icon so you wouldn't miss out on any informative content. If you have questions, you can ask them in the comment section, and because I love all these ideas, I might make a video answering some questions. This is of course a brand new channel, so if this can be shared, I will highly appreciate the support.